Chris, the reason why we chose this particular scene, a scene that is very strong in the novel, very clear, but not so clear in the film, is because it focuses on feelings, and the suppression of feelings and the idea of very basic feelings is one of the main ways that the elders use to control society, and that idea of the suppression of feelings we felt was not as strong in the film as it could have been. The effects we wanted to produce on the audience were three: anger, worry and shock. And one of the ways, or two of the ways in which we did it is one, when Lily very clearly says that the other little children from the other community are like animals, and that kind of aggressive, that word has an aggressive tone when you're talking about innocent little children, and we wanted to make the audience angry and worried, and that it would shock them, because it's not normal in such a little child to use that kind of language. And also we wanted to again make our audience angry and worried for that society and shocked by seeing that within a conversation about emotions there is actually a lack of real feelings, which again is shocking for us because we're not used to it. Pepito. The messages we wanted to convey to the audience were, one, that human feelings are very important in the family. So obviously when Jonas says, for example, he is apprehensive about the ceremony of 12 and not excited, when we see that the idea of joy and excitement and happiness is taken away, we see that the relationship in that family is very flat, very two-dimensional, and very unemotional, and that kind of atmosphere will make the family kind of separate and distant. The more emotions you have, the closer they come together. And we also wanted our audience to be more aware of how their own governments may be controlling them. So, for example, when they are aware of how through our video that the suppression of feelings is controlling the society, we want our audience to think about how their own governments indirectly control them, maybe through language, maybe through some kind of aspect of feelings as well. About the camera angles and images, the most effective we thought were two: the extreme close-up of Lily's face when she says animals. We wanted the audience to see very clearly, not only listen to the word animals, but see how much Lily disapproved and was condescending towards those little children through her facial expression, which again would shock the audience. And also we had a long shot of all three characters, so you could see, even though they were talking about emotions, supposedly, there was actually a lack of emotion on their faces, which should be, again, shocking and worrying for the audience. Fulanito. The word or phrase that we think was the most effective is definitely when Father said, precision of language, Jonas, apprehensive, not excited. Excited is not appropriate, too strong, too emotive. What we were happy with most about that was the repetition of the too strong, too emotive, in order to transmit very clearly to the audience the idea of suppressing feelings, and again, to shock them and make them think about how the elders are controlling people through suppression of feelings. And the most challenging aspects of the film were definitely how to create these special effects on the audience, how to shock them, how to make them angry, how to worry them. So we thought we would use, especially camera angles, to have close-ups on the faces, and even long shots, as I've said before, to show facial expressions that could help us have an effect on the audience. And it was also difficult to talk about feelings, as the whole scene did, in an unemotional way, because of course in our modern society, when we talk about feelings, we are automatically emotional. They are not. It was difficult, but we think we did it well.